to have you on the show today. And then the reason why I'm extra excited today, because we haven't had her in a very long time. And so it's like a welcome back home for Miss Olive Emodi.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
I've just been to London to see the Queen.
I know.
So it's
No, you went
affected
to
my
London.
accent.
Okay, I was going to say you went to London to see Lilibet, but she's in America.
Oh yeah, that's one same day.
Okay, Lagos and the rest of the world, from depending on where you're listening to us from, this is how you can be a part of the conversation. Why don't you send us a WhatsApp message 0809 444 That's 0809 444 I would have given you our Twitter handle, but we know what the issue is with that. So we will be talking about that in a moment. But please go onto Instagram, follow us at Smooth981. And of course, we are streaming live on YouTube. So youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. By the way, don't laugh too much. You're only laughing because I'm hearing it for the first time. The listeners are like, Ayo, it's getting old. I've said it almost every segment, like, and I'm giving you a Twitter handle. Oops,
But
I can't give you. Well, it's not old though, because we're going to be talking about that this morning from a different angle and a different perspective, because the grapevine way. All right, so before we get into our stories for today, by the way, we have so many things to get through, and excited, and I think some very important conversations, important discussions as well. So if you want to join in, just by go onto our YouTube channel, go to our WhatsApp page and speak to us. So we have a new song. Actually, it's a new music video we're going to be reviewing this morning. It's by Dua Lipa, and it's called Love Again. So I'm going to play it for you. You would have watched it,
But then again,
there was no way we could tweet it. Yeah. So you can only listen and quickly head on to YouTube to see if you can get a quick glimpse of it. Wow. So here's Dua Lipa with Love Again. Let us know what you think. And we have our analysts who will be telling us their own, they'll be breaking it down for us very shortly.
I won't let this Twitter thing go.
Every single segment. Just for those who listen to it, rolling their eyes like, Ayo, it's old now. Leave it. Drop it. I'm like,
no, it's not old at all.
It's not old though.
No.
Not old at all.
Even though you guys talked
not
about
old
it,
at
I
all.
think we
No,
talked
no, of
about
course
it in
it's
previous
not. No,
segments.
it's not
Because
old.
the truth of the matter, you had different listeners at
Oh,
every
no, it's
hour,
not.
right?
That would just be like a mention and just touch on that very quickly. And then because the Twitter ban is going to, if not, we're not going to get to any
Oh, that story.
because
So
I'm
should do
sure
that
it's gonna-
last.
No, not
I
even
really,
last.
I
Not
think
even
that
last.
the
After-
Twitter story should really just take prominence, to
Yes,
be
it
honest.
will. So I just want. So the Prince Harry one is just a touch and go, just because there's nothing there. It's just so she has given.
I mean, there's only a tiny little bit there, but there's
Yeah,
not
about
much to it.
Diana
Which one?
and Lilibet.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to start on a
Tiny.
soft note and not a very obvious note, and then from there go on to um, Chimamanda.
Oh, I love
I
that
think
story.
that's a very powerful story as well.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay,
then
you guys will have to lead on that one because I just was like, the Twitter thing is there, and that is just the.
it's
I
not that I've been
skimmed,
talking about
I skimmed the
Twitter.
rest.
So the others, no, the Chimamanda story.
Chimamanda one is
I would
very-
gloss through it. We can gloss through it. It's not. She was just saying about her
It's
mom
not
walking down.
glossy, no.
We'll talk about it, go in depth, yeah. But the story, the basic of the basis of the
it's
story
very
is the
short,
fact
but it's
that
just that the
her mom walked her
principles
down the
behind it.
aisle. So that's the
And
principle
she
we're
talks about
discussing.
how African mothers are
Sidelined.
Sometimes you raise your child and then on the wedding day,
It's
the
like
father
a-
walks up, father does
Father,
first dance. As
yeah,
if
the mother
didn't
doesn't
there.
exist.
Yeah.
So that was just
And
basically
then we
her
can then
saying.
talk about the Friends reunion because that's also big.
Well, me, I don't like Friends. I'm in the
No,
Friends.
don't say
Sorry.
it outside.
I know
I
the.
can lose my
Sorry,
respect
guys.
for
I
you.
know I'm on
Okay,
YouTube
time
live.
to go back.
Can I
But-
open the door so she can leave?
Exactly.
I'm in the Friends. Sorry.
Please don't let them lose your respect. You don't lose your street cred. All right,
Should I
let's
be
go
lying?
back. Let's go back.
Just yeah.
Woo! This is the kind of song you enter in with. Honestly, I realize that I'm such a woo when it comes to singing and dancing. If you see any video where I'm dancing or singing, I dance with my mouth, and so I'm like, hey!
You're always very excited, but when
Yeah, we know
but
that
actually
part.
she can dance. She tries.
She tries.
She tries.
Ah, let me show you my video from yesterday. Even me, I watched it. I was like, you can dance. So. Okay, so this is Dua Lipa. Let me not take the shine off Love Again, because it's actually, I feel it's a really good song. But I would like to hear from you both, of course, and then from our listeners as well. What do you think? Who goes first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Oliver Modi.
Dua Lipa. I don't know why listening to this particular song and watching the video gave me some sort of Lady Gaga vibes.
Close.
Same
Close.
here.
Close.
Right?
Same here.
Exactly.
Close. Not totally, but I think you meant to say Madonna vibe basically. But yes.
Both of them.
Yeah,
actually.
I just felt like, oh wait, is this Lady Gaga? But I like her voice.
She wasn't born during Madonna's time. That's why.
Yes, I'm a child. I'm a Gen Z, please. I don't care. I'm claiming Gen Z. So I like the song. The video was quite. Initially, I was like, oh, what's going on? What's this video about? But then I went through the comment section and saw someone's explanation of the video. The person was talking about how the different clowns were painting their different faces, and how there was this one egg that all the eggs represented cracked past relationships, and that one egg in the middle that didn't break represented new love.
The
and I
new
was like,
love
people did think, sha. This is so deep. But I really like I like the song. I like the lyrics. Maybe I'm not too excited about the video, but people seem to love it. But she could do no wrong in that song.
When this was playing, like I was getting the Madonna vibe at the beginning, and then I was like, okay, there's definitely some sampling here. And for me, I was wondering why it took so long for her to come back with a new song, because I've been jamming physical constantly. In fact, the song annoys me because when I'm going for my run and I'm trying to like rest, it's like, nah, it's like we just keep pushing harder again. So when this comes out, I love Dua Lipa. I've always loved her artistry. I've always loved how creative she's been. And the album is called Future Nostalgia. And with this song, she taps into the 1930s, Bing Crosby's My Woman, and channels that into this. And listening to that at the same time, it's like you're getting a bit of a country kind of vibe. It's like a country pop, hip hop, disco fusion there. So that is the future element that she's trying to channel with this particular album.
Yep.
Now, I thought it was just me in my head about the country part until the video now started, and you start to see that with country clowns kind of thing. So I'm like, okay.
The horses.
I wasn't particularly. I think I prefer the analogy of the video as opposed to the video itself.
Yes.
But the song gets so catchy. The chorus just gets you at that. Got me in love again. And I'm like, yeah, thank you very much.
But
yeah.
would you pick the song over which would you say? So far, my favorite song is still Levitating.
Well, but this is from the new album, right? This is the second single, I think.
Yeah.
The first single was Physical. I feel like both have their place. In fact, I was just thinking to myself, on my way here that, Jeff, if you download this song afterwards, it will not surprise yourself. But it's, I don't know why it took so long. I guess maybe the whole COVID stretch, because Physical was a long time ago. I felt that in the video, she's also a little bit stiff. She's actually less stiff in the Physical video, to be honest. And
Well, I
then
never
she's
saw the
stiff
physical
again.
video.
And it's really, you should see that. It's very colorful and cool in its own right. But I just feel like, when you're going to be dancing in your videos, try and not be the stiff one. At least let your dancers take a step back and be the
What
stiff
if you're
ones
not
or be on
blessed
par.
with the
Well,
gift of dance?
Not everybody is.
They should come and get lessons from Ayo.
Hey, you
You
see,
know?
I thought I danced my mouth.
You see?
He was dancing and he
Small
said,
thing,
hey.
Yeah, those annoying hype people in the club.
I was a hype woman. She should have been a hype woman.
All right, okay. For me, of course, you're the experts. I'm just here to usher in the conversation. But in terms of the song, of course, like Oliver and you have mentioned that it's such a catchy tune. You cannot help but love it, as the name Love Again. But also, it gives me. From when I saw, I was like, it sounds so English. It's such an English sounding song. Perhaps that's why it gives you that Madonna feel, because Madonna is very English. So of course, because it's disco pop, which is the sound. So if I'm thinking of while it was playing, I would think of myself at the pub, or at a very
I can't think of you at a pop though.
I think she would be fun. She wouldn't stay long. She would do a Folu storms.
Just
Folu storms,
breezing,
just 10
5
minutes,
minutes out.
10 minutes out, and it's always accurate. I start timing when Folu walks in, and that 10-minute boom,
She's
gone.
out. Yeah, I wouldn't stay up to 10 minutes,
I
maybe
would
5.
say-
If at all she would.
No, but pubs are not like but it's not like all these clubs. It's not
Yeah,
like,
it's a
pubs are
different
just a way to
vibe
hang
entirely,
out,
right?
Have
Yeah.
a nice full English roast. That's what you do.
But
yeah,
the song itself, she talks about it's about her broken relationship and how she now found herself back. And she used to date a chef. actually.
Really?
Yeah, can you imagine? She
Now I
dumped
see
one
the
of us. So can
connection.
you imagine?
Oh,
Who did
sorry.
the dumping? She or
Okay,
him?
I'm not sure to be honest. I
We
can't
We don't know
remember.
what
I
happened
can't
in the
remember,
relationship.
but yeah.
But I think the one thing
Chef
that
model.
makes this song very interesting is the fact that the chorus is catchy.
Mm.
It doesn't have a lot
Yeah.
of lyrics bombarded in it. So we
Yeah.
hear some songs and there are lots of lyrics. There's nothing to hold on to. But with this one, you can always keep singing
That's
"Falling
now
in
the
Love"
new
again.
trick.
Just have a catchy line.
Yeah.
Don't bombard it with too much lyrics. Have a good beat. Have a catchy
Thank
line.
you.
And
My next single.
Ah.
I remember it.
Yeah.
I
Ayo,
remember
please,
that.
Ayo,
let's
please
just stick
don't
to the
embarrass our family
dancing.
outside.
I beg,
All right, let's go on to our stories for today. And let's start with this one because we have a few minutes to go before we go into the break so that we're not cut off because there's the key or the headline conversation for today. We'll move on after the break. But congratulations are in order to Prince Harry as he and his wife Meghan Markle welcome their daughter. She's not their first child. They have a son called Archie. And now this is their daughter. There's so many things around or surrounding her birth. In fact, if she were Nigerian, they would have named her Eniton. Do you know what Eniton means? A child who was born who has a story around her, the circumstance of her birth. Because they'll tell her that while we're pregnant for you, we released an expose on the British family while we were pregnant with
your
you.
father also, your father and Oprah Winfrey,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
documentary.
yeah. The
So
second
she's-
part of it.
yeah.
they
She's
have-
a very special child. They will certainly have. So I would name her Eniton. But much ado about her name, they've given her very special names.
Yeah.
2 important names.
Mhm.
One named after her,
Her
great
grandmother.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to think she's a
grandmother's
grandmother.
nickname.
Yeah,
Lilibet,
yeah.
Lilibet.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth is
Mhm.
called Lilibet, fondly referred to as Lilibet. And then very importantly, Diana.
Yeah.
Do you know was when they named her, I was thinking, why didn't William name his daughter Diana?
Maybe because Harry's always been associated as a child who had a closer bond to, or who sort of was like a mirror of Diana, right? Is why people would say, and now this is a very sensitive subject of argument, how people would liken Meghan to Diana, and the fact that they
No,
say
I don't.
exactly, but there's been
Persecuted
arguments
by the press.
for and against it. People say, oh, he has a kind heart, she has a kind heart. They're into a lot of philanthropy. These are some of the things that people
Do not compare Meghan to Diana. Diana was a
Diana.
No, I think there's
but
a big difference, to be honest. But you can still see the persecution in the press
Yes,
kind of
exactly.
thing going
Persecution,
on. And it's like
yes.
a repetition that we're hoping
Yeah.
never happens.
Yeah.
But Lilibet actually is now the 8th in line for the throne. But at the same time, it's unlikely that she will have that title. What happens is this, all right? When Prince Charles ascends to the throne, then she gets entitled to be called princess. But the thing is, there are 2 sides. Harry and Meghan are pushing for that title to be rescinded because they want to back away. And even before their marriage, Prince Charles was trying to create a slimmer monarchy. So he was also pushing for the title to be not really a thing, apparently.
I was going to say, because remember the interview with Oprah, one of the things she had identified was that they didn't call her son
Archie
a
a prince,
Archie,
yes.
Archie. I'm surprised that she wouldn't want that because I thought that was the thing that she was saying. Well, maybe
Yeah, I mean,
in
she
terms of
wanted her
stipulation.
prince when she was younger, and she got him, right? But I just find it, I don't know, I still find it questionable that the moment that the moment the melanin comes into the picture, suddenly titles don't matter anymore in the descendancy of things. It's like, I don't know, it feels very like, what are you trying to hide? Even if you're trying to slim a monarchy,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what exactly that is supposed to mean.
Yeah, onto something.
We wish them all the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meghan, and I'm hoping that this, sometimes when I think about the fact that Harry and Meghan have chosen a different path for themselves,
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder what that would mean for their children as well,
Yeah.
because when they think about it, would that be a choice that they would have wanted their
Yeah.
parents to make?
Yeah.
The fact that they're totally going to be, maybe not completely, but to a large
Yeah.
extent disconnected from the throne in that sense.
Yeah.
So is that something that
It's a huge change, huge,
they would have
massive.
loved?
All right, let's hear from you. What do you think? We'll go on a break now. And congratulations again. I have named her in the usual Nigerian fashion. Lilibet Diana Eniton.
Omobolale.
Where do you
I don't know, the name just dropped in my
Just-
spirit.
Windsor. Congratulations. After the break, we'll be looking at the Twitter ban.
Yep.
Basket mouth, some celebrities have come out to give their take on the federal government's Twitter ban. We'll be looking at that. And of course, we're looking at another statement that Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has made with regards to mothers and their children and the way they're portrayed in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Point one.
Femi, real Femi said that. Send me your login details. Let me tweet for you guys. He's in Namibia.
That's a very valid.
Thank you so much for your kind offer. The only thing is that
Uh-uh,
now that
Cecil.
NBC has said we shouldn't tweet, we are going to be in trouble if we dare. See who?
Zil Akarewe.
Oh, is he listening?
I think he just sent me a message.
What did he say?
Let me read.
Zeal.
Oh, my Maiwa is tuned in. Hello, Maiwa. Hi, Ugo.
Eh. Calm down. Okay, everyone, YouTube fam, show up. Put the comments, put your comments in the comment section. Thank
Okay,
you
so
very
you'll be able
much.
to read it from there.
Yeah, so I just reduced my. Gabriel says that Nigerians have been moving from one country to another using VPN airline.
Wow.
It's really funny because you can actually still see like tweets.
It's here.
It's here. Oh.
Is that you can actually what?
You
Sorry.
can actually still see like Twitter notification. You might not be able to read anything, but I looked at my
Yes,
phone and I
your
can see
email,
13
yes.
and I can still see things coming through.
That's what happened to
Yeah,
my husband.
so I'm on VPN.
Me,
people.
I'm in America though.
Oh, Ayo.
I did not say that.
Ayo.
Ah,
Okay, we're back.
it's already here. We already prepared for the story.
What?
Ah, today's story is almost.
Belongs to you. Okay, won't touch on it.
Wait.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. I would have said our hearts belong to you, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm Ayo Myres and it's still Grapevine 981. This is part of the Smooth Breakfast Show, and we give you all the latest information with expert analysis on entertainment news from around the world. And joining me this morning, I have Olive Emodi
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
and Chef Jeff 3000.
I love you 3000. Good to be back.
Chef Jeff, you have to speak French once in a while. You know, you speak French.
You speak
Je parle
French.
un petit peu. Un petit peu.
Exactly.
Ah.
You see, what are the girls? Don't call us, so I'm not available.
Très bien,
What's-
très bien.
You can send us a message if you'd like to join the conversation. 0809 444 0981 is the number to send your message to. We're also live on YouTube. Oh gosh, you should see what happens behind the scenes. You need to be on YouTube right now. Use the chat box to send us a message. And shout out to our YouTube watchers who are, shout out to Gabriel, Vichido, Femi. Thank you for your messages. All right, let's move on to our next story. And that's a big one. It's our headliner for today. Twitter is just the first. They're coming for everything, says Basket Mouth. This is no news for a lot of people. We've all perhaps heard of the Twitter ban, and we all perhaps have been affected by it because we're not able to access Twitter, the social media platform, on our devices. Now, ace comedian Basket Mouth has spoken up against the Twitter ban, which he said is the first of many in the country, pointing out that Nigerian leaders have been dropping hints about the ban before now. The comedian alleged that they are trying to censor Nigeria's communication with the outside world. He further stated that the leaders might find a reason to also ban other social media platforms in times ahead. So two things. First is, okay, the ban in itself. And the second is that do you think this is a precursor to other bans? So they're going to come up with WhatsApp is not safe. You pick up Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Hunger.
Okay.
All I can think of is hunger when I think of these things and the possibility of what might be. So let's quickly talk on Basket Mouth and the fact that I like the fact that Basket Mouth always uses his platform to speak up when it matters. He does this Instagram series called The Bright Side, where he touches on different issues. His most recent one, he talked of polygamy, very hilarious, and he related that to Nigeria. But in this one, he was talking about what's currently happening and how they always give us like an insight into what they're about to do, but we don't take the initiative to start acting. So he first talked about how they said, "Oh, Nigeria's fuel is the cheapest," and before you know, we had them take away subsidy. We had them increase the fuel price, and now very recently we all know the clamor against the social media bill that a lot of people in our generation kicked against, and they calmed down. But what he was saying was that
Please
was
clarify which generation. Gen Z.
I'm a Gen Z.
You should stop
Please,
lying to yourself.
please. I am what I am.
You are
These
Gen-
days, you are allowed to choose who you are. I am a Gen Z. Please. So, as I was saying before, you millennial interrupted me.
Wow.
So,
Who told you that's how she self-identifies?
please,
Thank you.
what do you identify as?
Gen F.
Or baby boomer?
Baby boomer.
So
Y'all
he
got
was,
jokes.
he was talking about the fact that they had come up with the social media bill. We kicked against it, but that was some sort of insight into what was to come.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, they never really needed the social media bill because what's happened
Exactly.
is you banning, the government coming out to ban Twitter has so much adverse effects from influencers losing money. There's some people that Twitter is their hustle, right? I was just thinking about it that this is my Instagram page that I suffered to build up for how many years. They
You know
verified
how
my
painful.
Instagram. The next day they will now come and say, no more Instagram. What does that mean? There are people who don't have other jobs apart from being influencers and they're making lots of money from it. I saw reports that stated how much we're losing in a day. I think I did a screenshot of that and it was okay. Nigeria could lose 358 billion naira every week. Internet is blocked. Now this is internet in general, but there are also concerns. I'll let Chef Jeff have the floor. There are also concerns about what this might mean. There's a report that states that they might be trying to get a firewall
From China.
Yeah, from
Mhm.
China
Yeah.
to be able to regulate
So
internet
China
in
currently
Nigeria.
has what we call the Great Firewall. So they have their own internet. They regulate information literally in China. So what their people consume. That's what a number of people are concerned about. That this is what. So if you search for certain words or certain incidents in history in China, it wouldn't come up because they've blocked it so that people don't have access to that information.
You see, the thing is, I hate when I end up being prophetic. When they were doing this whole NIN madness thing, all right, I said just wait until they tell you that NIN is useless and they'll come up with another number. That was March 29th. They did. When this whole thing of Buhari tweet getting deleted happened, I said just wait. Twitter is not going to become inoperable. It did. And here's the thing, all right, it's not that we're seeing anything new, whatever the generation is. Let's take this back to the 1980s. Sorry, I'm going to go political here. In the 1980s, right now, everybody is like press, maybe of different degrees,
Yeah.
maybe of false and true stories. Everybody is press now because you can film everything.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we had reporters, just reporters who were doing the coverage. In the 1983s, the general, I won't refer to the other title. The general was, everything was a repressive regime in Nigeria when it came to the press. You could be jailed for trivial matters and whatnot. And that is what we're seeing resurface. There was a report by Al Jazeera in 2015 that we're still not sure about the freedom of the press and freedom of communication or freedom of speech in Nigeria. And that highlighted what was in the old regime and what was hopeful for now, but might not be the case. Now, there's a situation whereby even Donald Trump, when his tweets were reported or deleted, even till today has still been trying to get back on the platform. And I can assure you, Trump is probably maybe the only person that was doing his own tweets. When you talk about Nigeria, the corporate entity, which is the word they're trying to use, all right, there's different departments. You can focus on your job as the MD. Somebody else is sending your tweets for you or whatever. And that's really as far as it goes. It's a platform whereby it can build or destroy. That is the truth of the matter. But how you use it, all right, and what it represents is the voice of the people. Even for people who are not on social media, All right, you have to think about how social media has helped you indirectly. When they tell you that there's traffic here, somebody has called you and said there's traffic here, don't go in that
Yes.
direction.
We had
When they
daily
tell you that
traffic
there's
on
a bomb
Twitter.
here or armed
Yes.
robbers in this
Yeah.
particular area, it's been what's been helping us here.
COVID,
But
information on COVID.
NCDC.
Yes,
All right.
it-
The
Twitter.
numbers and where people should be going, because now it's not everybody that has. Sometimes that's the main access that you have at any
Yeah.
point in time. If you're stuck in traffic, you don't have a TV around you. It's your phone you're reaching to, or maybe the radio. Okay, fine. But what we're doing right now is suppressing the voices. And to be honest, right now, I mean, I feel like they're still very bitter about the NSARS thing and a few other elements there. But this is the old general that we're seeing stepping forward in the picture again. And unfortunately, we're stuck like this for another 2 years. And the thing is, once people realize
No,
that
not
there are other,
exactly. You know, if it's a
Well,
democracy, I
well,
get
okay, it might even be longer, and I hope it's not. But
and even okay.
yeah, I hope it's not. But the truth of the matter is that it's people's voices being suppressed here. All right. And it's not even just the influencers. There are other people who are making money from this platform who are using it to communicate and reach a wider audience. And suddenly
course.
now you shut that off. You shut off people from pretty much the rest of the world. So it's now at a stage where it's like, well, what's next? And of course, we know what is next because you can still share things on Instagram, all your live videos and whatnot. You can still
Yeah.
share that. Everything on Facebook, WhatsApp. Very soon, if they get this firewall here, and the other thing is, China is like, we're in business to make money. So we're going to give you this firewall.
Of
No
course,
problem.
yeah.
Fine. Next, we become the new China or North Korea. We might as well be saying dear leader now. So it now makes you question like when these sort of the things that matter are not spoken about. The president's tweet gets deleted. And I was one of the people that reported that thing, to be honest. Gets deleted. And next thing you know, it's like, okay, it's time to shut down a whole network of things and say that, that it's acting against the corporate entity. That's not how this works. That is not how this works. The problem is that we constantly throw our priorities in the wrong directions. The things that should be spoken about, insecurity. Nobody came and said
Do
anything
you
like
think
that.
culture also plays a role? The reason I'm saying
Yes.
this is that there's this notion, especially in Nigeria. and
Elders
I'm
are
bringing
always
this,
right.
Elders are always right. How dare you shut me up? It's like you telling an elder to shut up. You would go to, they can kill you.
And it's also
So-
something that showed itself, right, during the NSAS protest, where it seemed like this generation is a generation Sorosoke, generation coconut head. These people, they dare
How
to
dare you
defy
talk-
others.
Don't look into the eyes of elders.
An
when
elder
they're
is always
speaking to
right.
you. You
Elder
look
is
down.
always right. You must always be the one to struggle, no matter how young you are.
Yep.
You're making money. Justify how you got that money when you're not.
I mean,
old
our
enough for
parents'
this,
generation used to do 25 years of service, 35 years of service.
But now
you
it's
know.
like we do fewer. You
fewer
look at even
hours.
this. You look at the money that was coming through to fuel the protests. All right, from different places, and they were accountable numbers that were being given there, and the banks were not happy. Some of the banks were not happy. Like, what's going on here? CBN is not happy with the whole situation. Like, what's going on here? People should be,
Some bank accounts are
you know,
still frozen.
exactly.
I think it's
And-
also a bigger picture. It shows the bigger picture is we're trying to rebrand Nigeria, right? We're talking about the fact that we might not really have such great press in certain parts of the
Who is
world.
trying to rebrand?
Well, that is why they want to change it to UAR, but that is not our focus. It is things like this that makes it look like, we're after the wrong things. When Twitter took its
We are
headquarters
after the
to
wrong
Ghana,
things.
everybody was making noise. But look at their
Look
reasons.
at, yeah,
We
they
don't
all
have
would have been shut up by
exactly.
Do you know who
Sealed
I think? Do you know
straight
who I
away.
think is rethinking their decision? You know, Facebook is supposed to come to
now.
Nigeria.
Yeah, that's not. They
So,
will just.
It's just
It's okay,
basically
we'll call in.
there are questions that people would ask when they hear things like this. What government are we operating? Are we operating a democratic government
Nope.
in the real sense of
In
it?
Nigeria, it's called
You know,
Nigerian
what
democracy.
the rule of law, how applicable is the rule of law is the supremacy of the law over the rulers and the ruled. How supreme is the law in
Speak it,
Nigeria?
Barrister Olive.
There was a report by the World Justice Project that ranked Nigeria as 108 out of 128 countries that observe the rule of law, and we're 22 out of 31 in sub-Saharan Africa. So we have a long way to go, and we keep slipping downward. It's like we're going further and further down. The right to express yourself, the right to hold opinions and express them is enshrined. Article 19 of the UN Charter, right? It's basically talking about the fact that you can express yourself. Even with our constitution allows freedom of expression. When a lot of people were clamoring against religious conflicts, the fact that you have a right to associate yourself with whatever religion you want to. So if we're saying that Article 19 of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights provides for this, and then we're doing the direct opposite. What message are we trying to send to the world?
That's the
All
thing.
right.
What we're trying to say is that that really it's that we can change our minds, and everybody has to just fall in line with that. That's unfortunately what the situation is. You have a minister of this information, who, when things get said, I just automatically think, okay, whatever was said, I have to follow what the opposite is here, because
Wow.
quite
So
frankly, it
just a
just
lack
looks
of
like
trust. That's what people are feeling.
that is what the situation is, because it just makes no sense to just shut down a platform of freedom of speech that's been used for both good and for bad.
Yeah.
Do you know
all
how
right?
many
And
cases have been solved on Twitter? How many
Yeah.
security cases?
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
as I was driving to work, and we have to shut this down now because of our time. I can't believe it. I knew that if we touch on this, we are not going anywhere else. I'll just touch on the other ones. Let me take comments actually first of all from our listeners. Xavier from Bagada says that, oh hi guys, hello Ayo and Jeff. Is that Olive I'm hearing? Olive,
Yes,
you
it's
try it.
Olive.
You feel you just lost and come back.
I'm
Me and you will still
sorry,
fight. Then
I'm
says
sorry.
Jeffrey Bonjour, ça va? You did good in that Naked Convo series. Well done.
thank you very
All right,
much.
now to
Little
the
Black
matter.
Book.
Oh, I'm going to search for it. It says, my problem with us is that we can complain for the world. It's time for action. We're still talking and complaining and speaking. Trust me, guys, we're not ready. The worst is yet to come, he says. And don't come with the optimism notion. The earlier we realize this, it's time, it's time to be more actionable. The earlier we realize it's time to be actionable, the better. All right, then all of your people, what are they doing about this? Not to just come and quote articles and laws here.
Well, the NBA has been very outspoken about this.
Serap as well.
Yes, exactly.
Serap, yeah.
So we've seen tweets. Olumide Akpata, who's the NBA chairman, president rather, has been speaking about this as well. So
Files will probably have a song very
the
soon. I'm
only
surprised it
risky
hasn't
part,
happened just
exactly.
yet.
The only scary part is when you think about the fact that the Attorney General of the Federation is,
An
has
SN.
and the SN has given this order that
And allowed it to happen.
know.
Because
Is
you
it
know what
the same
happens
in
next?
prosecute? Guys, we have to go. Let me take
Yeah,
people's
but you know what
comments.
happens that next in your diaspora that have their Twitter accounts and are based outside,
Yeah.
before you know, they be like, if you don't delete your Twitter, you might as well just forfeit your passport or something along those lines for you.
And
Right,
shudder
they
to
cannot even-
think.
So Abby from Lekki says this administration benefited greatly from social media, especially Twitter during last election. 2023 is around the corner. INEC is proposing electronic voting. If the so-called elders are wise, they'll retire as it's not their future that's at stake. They've done their bit, reached the zenith of the developmental growth, have little or nothing to contribute any further. Bamidele, I'm definitely not reading your message out. Ben Cruz says now it's just a short part to let us know that federal government can do whatever they like and nothing would happen. If they could have blocked our access to that cable news channel, it would have gone since. All right, that's all we can take. It's 8:48, but just to mention so that I just let you know what's happening around the world. Mission Impossible 7 filming shuts down after crew tests positive for COVID-19. Barack Michelle Obama announced new Netflix animated series. This one I'm just cashing out. Trevor Noah back again with Minka Kelly, his model girlfriend.
Do they know? Why do we like to jump into conclusions?
They saw them
Have they
around.
come out to say we are dating? The fact that you see people holding hands together and taking walks
One
does not mean that they're
Direction,
dating.
Sally and Payne confirmed split with model fiance Maya Henry.
And I like what he said though.
Oh.
He said that he realized that he has the issues and he needs to work on himself before
That's
projecting.
what they say when they don't want to break your heart. It's not me. It's
Is
me.
that-
Wow.
I mean, it's not you, it's me. All right, guys, let's plug out. Thank you so much.
You can find me at Chef Jeff 3000 on, well, when Twitter comes back up, or if I move to the abroad, or something else comes my way, then Chef Jeff 3000 Twitter, Instagram, and I will be right here again on the Grapevine on Spoot at 8.1, same time next week. Don't touch that dial.
He's on the
Okay.
Twitter. You're banned from Twitter.
Oh
Go
wow. And you can follow me on all social media platforms at Olive Emodi. You see, I didn't mention
ahead. All
Twitter.
social bot Twitter.
All social media platforms at Olive Emodi. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us on
What
YouTube.
together?
You know what I'm saying?
This is Ayok to our dancing.
Tempo
Dancing queen.
said that Twitter is down. I wonder how Chef Jeff is going to survive. The guy can tweet for Africa, but he refuses to follow me at Tempo_XL.
Wow.
Because it's a suspension. If and when Twitter comes back, make sure you follow at Tempo.
I'm going to have to check with that comment.
I think he has to fly abroad, and then when he gets, on
there are ways of flying abroad, but not going abroad. So, you know.
Do not
Digital.
endorse that.
No, we do not.
All right, Lagos and the rest of Nigeria, thank you all so much for being a part of the conversation. It has been amazing. Thanks for your contribution, and thank you to our wonderful analysts,
Thank you.
Thank you very
Olive
much.
and Chef Jeff 3000.
And thank you to our friends streaming on YouTube.
Yes, thank you to all of them. Why are you so particular about your friends?
Because I particularly have friends that are streaming on
oh,
YouTube.
shout out to all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go. We will not leave this place. Bye. See you on Thursday, same time, 8:15.
Have we ended it before